Hey creative, what's up? It's your girl Jamila and welcome back to my laboratory. I'm super excited about today's video because I'm going to show you how I use my embroidery machine to help me customize this bucket hat that I actually also sewed myself. Everything I use listed in the description box below. And if you like this video, you learned something new, make sure you give the video a thumbs up, share with your friends, and make sure that bell notification is on so you don't miss any of my upcoming craft tutorials. To start off this project, I'm starting in my digitizing software, and with my Ricoma embroidery machine. Chroma Inspired comes with the machine, so that's what I'll be using today. But this design is super simple. I'm actually not really doing much. So I'm just going to go to File and hit Merge, and I'm going to go ahead and import the artwork that I want to use. And I got this design off Etsy. I'll try and link it in the description box of this video if it's still available. So I know for the hat I'm using, my panel is about 4 inches wide. So I'm going to be paying close attention to up here at the toolbar, well, all the way up here at the top of the screen where it tells me my height and my width of this project. Okay, so this bear already is 2.82 inches, which is cool because the text that I'm going to do is all vertical. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and let me just zoom out just a little bit. And another thing I want to do is I want to go ahead and change the colors of this bear, right? So down here I have the options to, let me just subtract all the extra colors. So now the only colors down here on my screen are the ones that are in the bear. So I'm just going to go ahead and click the ones down here. Like I want to take this yellow. I think I'm going to do a cream white. And honestly, I know I'm using a black background, so I'm going to go over here to this corner and change the background to black, just so I get a better visual of the colors and making sure that's what I really want. So I changed that, and I'm going to go ahead and click this one, and I'm going to change it to a black. And I'm going to change this red. Actually, I'm going to change that black to like a gray. And the way they have the color set up in the software right here is that it matches with the Madeira thread. So if you're working in here and you pick a color, you can, match it up pretty much exactly to the thread that you're going to be using. So you can, actually know what your project will really look like. For example, if you wanted a green, the Kelly green is number 1251. So if you needed to, you go ahead onto the Madeira website or wherever they sell their thread and go ahead and order that so you can get an exact color match. So I have that one. I'm going to change the green to like a gold or something, and change this red to black, and that blue to our white. Awesome. So that is what our bear, the colors of our bear. I'm going to go ahead and select everything on the bear, right click and group it all together. That way it just moves, right? So now that I have that, I'm going to go ahead and grab a text box. And I'm just going to go ahead and type in 9 and hit a couple, let me get rid of that A. I'm going to hit 9, hit a couple spaces to make up for that bear, and put 1. And 901 is like the Memphis area code, right? And the grizzly bear is because Memphis Grizzlies, so it's a Memphis thing, this whole design is a Memphis thing. So one thing about the text is if you hover over it, so this is already like the preloaded text in Chroma, right? So if you hover over it, it'll tell you the max height, well, the minimum and the max height that this text can do. So that's just something to kind of keep in mind when you're doing their designs. But I know for this design, I want to change the font to Times. And I can go as big as 1.97. I think I'm going to just hit it at 1.90. Let me just move it and see if that's enough space. Not quite enough space. So I'm going to go over here to where it says space percent. I'm going to do, let me do 30. I always like to start off big and then, nope. 30 was too big. So maybe I can do 15. Yes, 15 is good. It's a good amount of space right there. So now what I'm going to do is just select, let me get rid of that. I need my select tool and just delete that. So I'm going to go ahead and select everything, and I'm going to come up here and I'm going to align everything in the center, like center vertical align, right? So this is what it looks like. And then if I wanted to do a realistic sketch, it'll tell me like this. I think I need to move this 9 over just a little bit. Okay, and select everything again and make sure that everything is centered. And honestly, listen, that's it. That's all I'm doing as far as designing. Now what I'm going to do is go ahead over here to file and hit print. And this is going to give me the color sequence, so I know how to type it into my machine. And it's going to give me like the sizing of this design, so I can lay it on my fabric and see if it's too big, too small, or just get a real good idea of what it's going to look like. So I'm just going to go ahead and print that out, and we'll just go ahead and move over. Well, I'm going to go ahead and save this, but that kind of looks different for everybody, so I'm not going to show you the process. But I'm just going to go ahead and save the design, transfer it to my USB, and we'll be moving over to the machine. So here's my printout and what it looks like, and I'll just be using this when I plug in the colors onto my machine so that I have them going in order in the colors that I want them to stitch out. Now I'm going to go ahead and hoop my design. I have some interfacing on the back of my fabric to make it a little bit stiffer and thicker. So because now it's pretty thick, I'm just going to use some tearaway stabilizer. And once I have it hooped, I'll just go ahead and move it over to my machine. Use that printout to enter my colors. Now this design has 5 colors, and since this is a 10 needle machine, I'll be able to stitch out these 5 colors pretty easy. So now I'm going to use that design printout and lay it onto my fabric, and this just really helps when I'm tracing my design because I can put the printout exactly where I want it on my fabric, and when I'm tracing my design, I'll use this printout as a guide to make sure that I have my needle positioned in the starting place where I want my design to be. And once I have everything traced and it's looking good, I'll just go ahead and hit the start button and let my embroidery machine do his thing. So this design is about 11,000 stitches, and I do have my machine running at the max speed, which is 1,000 stitches a minute. So technically this is only supposed to take 11 minutes to stitch out. I don't ever really keep track of the time, but I do know I tried to go and cut some more fabric or whatever, and by the time like I cut 2 pieces, it was done. So yeah, it does work really quickly, and that is one of my favorite things about my Ricoma machine, is that like it's pretty much super hands off. Like as long as I keep the maintenance up on it, like oiling it, things like that. If I change my thread, I always check the tension, make sure my tension is good. The machine pretty much runs itself. Like I just plug in the colors, my design and stuff like that. I hit the start button and it's good to go. So if you're interested in a Ricoma machine, I'll definitely have a link for you below in the description box of this video, as well as everything else I use. So once everything's stitched out, I just went ahead and took it out of the hoop, took my design off the hoop, and I did use tearaway stabilizer, so there wasn't really anything to like clean up. Now I'm just going to go ahead and assemble my hat. Now I am a beginner sewer, so I'm not going to make this like no full step-by-step sewing tutorial, but I did get this pattern from this website called Waves and Wild. It was a free pattern PDF. And not only did it come with the pattern for this project, it actually comes with step-by-step instructions, which is basically what I just basically read through and was able to complete the project by just reading this. So I have a link to that website in the description box if you want to go ahead and download your free pattern as well. And as I was making this, I was like, you know what? Summer is right around the corner. Father's Day is right around the corner. This is actually a great time to be making these bucket hats. I'm not sure if bucket hats is like an all year thing, but I know that they're super popular in the summer, of course. So if you need a little bit of project inspiration, there you go. So if you're enjoying this video so far, please give the video a thumbs up. Drop a heart in the comment if you're enjoying it. And this is how the hat turned out, you guys. I freaking love it. Now, if you don't sew, but you would like to go, say you buy a bucket hat from the store and you still want to customize it. So one of the accessories that Ricoma sells is called this 8-in-1 frame. So basically, this is the frame, and it comes with 8 different size hoops. And it comes with 8 different size hoops, and this is the frame. So you would just pick the hoop that would best fit the size for your project. Let's say we wanted to use this one. You would put some sticky stabilizer on here, attach it to your hat like this, and then this part goes into here. You turn the knob, slide it in there, make sure that it clicks into those little holes, and you would tighten the knob. Have your sticky stabilizer on here, then you can just put your project on here like this, and you'd be able to embroider on the surface. So that's just a different option if you don't want to sew it all together like I did. So that's another option for you, and I will have the link for these accessories in the description box below this video. So the hat wasn't for myself. I made it for my husband. I'm gonna have to go back and make myself one because I just really, really, really love how this turned out. But as always, guys, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, I'll see you later.